Welcome to the Bucher and Friends podcast, co-starring 10-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion, Will Blackman.
Manning from the end zone. He throws, and a deflect away, and it is picked off by Will Blackman, the former Giant.
Tim Dwight watches it hit, bounces, picks it up at the 10, slips a defender, fumbles the football. It's up for grabs. It's covered in the end zone by Will Blackman for a Green Bay touchdown.
And now, here is your host,
Let's send it over to Ric Bucher.
Ric Bucher.
All right, that was Will Blackman just putting his guitar away. And this is another episode of Bucher and Blackman, subsidiary of Bucher and Friends, part of the United WeCast network. I thought I might be able to... Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back.
I didn't know you started.
Yeah, I know you didn't. Trying to sneak it in.
You try to sneak it in.
That's right. So give us a little something. This is Will, by the way, is teaching himself guitar and has just started. So
I literally just started. I don't even know where the frets are.
Like half an hour ago.
See, I don't know anything. Here you go. Wait. See, I'm on the spot. I can't do it on the spot.
I know, because you killed it. You killed it earlier.
Did I really?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, this is my riff. Seven Nation Army. That's all you get in. All right. Welcome to Bucher and Blackman, subsidiary of Bucher and Friends.
There you go. He is Will Blackman. I'm Ric Bucher. You can see my stuff at Bleacher Report and on Twitter at Ric Bucher. You can see him on NFL Network, Game Day, and you can find him on Twitter at Will Blackman. You can see the show or follow the show on both Twitter and Instagram at Bucher Friends. And don't forget to leave us a rating wherever you get your podcast. And if you screenshot the rating, when you just hit the star, screenshot that, send it to Bucher Friends, and you will be eligible to win some prizes. So give that a shot. All right, we have a number of things to get to. And
I have a question. We do have a number of things, but I have a question.
Okay. Fire away.
Have you ever worked incredibly hard on something and seen it come to fruition and did not get any credit for it?
Boy, that's a good question.
Or even a thank you from somebody.
I feel as if that has happened. Nothing immediately comes to mind, and it's the kind of thing that I would move on from rather than harbor, because it would poison me to hold on to that and to think about it.
He said poison me.
Yeah, it would. It would. I would hold that resentment. And I will say this. I've actually, once upon a time, took the approach. Someone said, do something for someone and don't tell anybody about it. Just do something out of the kindness of your heart and don't tell anybody about it. And if you do, it doesn't count. And it was amazing how once I did something, it was amazing how I found myself wanting to find a way to kind of drop that knowledge indirectly, that I had done this nice thing.
Right.
But knowing that it didn't count, if I did, I couldn't. And what has happened is it's been more valuable to me as a result of that. I know that's not where you thought this conversation was going to go. I'm assuming that you presented that because there's something that you have in mind.
There is something in mind. So I have a friend here, right? I met him back in like 2008. He's actually one of Shauna's friends, my wife's friends in the music business.
Okay.
And since 2008, he's always been sending me like tracks, instrumentals, beats.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think? This is for like 10 years now, right? What do you think? Even still, what do you think? So finally, I remember we had a talk. He was going through he had a little plateau in his life, his career, like nothing was shaking, no big breaks. And finally, boom, he has a song that comes out called Bodak Yellow.
Whoa.
And the artist is Cardi B.
Yeah.
Right? So, boom, that was it for him. Now he's working for tons of people.
Yeah.
So therefore, he actually, I think, oversee half of Cardi B's project. Produced, all her songs that went radio and did really well.
Yeah.
Were all his. So last night Record of the Year. I mean, Rap Album of the Year award comes out. Cardi B wins. She goes through a laundry list and does not say his name.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
I mean, she probably think like the sushi chef and the bus driver.
So do you think it was intentional, or do you?
I don't know.
Boy, that's tough. Now isn't his name listed somewhere?
No, he's on the credits, of course. Even when the title came up, you saw his name in there. This is a great guy. No beef, no animosity, just a great person, a great dude, really good guy. So it's not like, there was some animosity in there. There was nothing. It's just like
that's tough.
It's like when people really get to the top, they forget.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If it was intentional.
She had more than one. If it was intentional, I don't think it was. Hey, it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
He literally just put a new song out for her.
Man.
Literally just put a brand new one on her new album.
That is tough, because if the guy's not a household name, having your name mentioned by Cardi B as she receives the award is worth its weight in gold.
It's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Just to get your name out there and to get that recognition. Because now everybody's going to have the same question we did. Ooh, what's up? Right? Oh, what's up?
His name is Jay White, by the way. He goes by name Jay White. Did it?
Oh, I saw his name. I saw his name in the listing of wherever I looked online to research, what went down with the Grammys, because I didn't watch. I saw his name, and I saw his name a couple of times. And actually, I noticed because under some of them, the credits, there was like 8 or 9 people that were credited for songs that were written, including like Drake got credit on a couple of things.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, you got like 9 people writing this song or providing lyrics for this song? It was amazing. I can't remember
because
the last time.
That's how very few musicians actually write their own stuff.
I know, I get that. But generally, like, it's almost like if I was in the studio, I want credit. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Well, and I guess in some ways, the question immediately comes to mind. There's no way that you're writing a song that wins an award with 9 people weighing in. Like, seriously, in terms of the lyrics, in terms of the arrangement, that's too many cooks in the kitchen to write a song like where you're going to have that many people weighing in. I don't see how that would work. So I think there's some people getting some credit because, I don't know, they moved around a or they said, like, take out that word, and okay, yeah, that's got a little better. I have a hard time believing, and I'm not disparaging Jay and his contribution. I looked at some of these. There's no way that 9 people write a song. I can't give you past 3 or 4.
They may have input.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of.
You should say it like this. I want credit, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like when Tampa won the Super Bowl, Dungy should have got a ring.
Yeah. 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 Oh, no, I get that. But
anyhow, you see how I brought it back to football, right?
Yeah, you did. And actually, there's congratulations. The NFL is catching on with what the NBA does. The NBA is what I like to call a transactions league. It maintains interest throughout the year because their superstars now have the wherewithal to move, and they're willing to do that, and they're willing to do it and sacrifice money to have that freedom to go where they want to go. And as a result, between that and between draft picks, drafting guys like Joel Embiid and Zion Williamson coming down, and the value of the draft picks, now every team can dream, every fan can dream of or imagine a superstar coming to their team, either by draft or by free agency.
Isn't that crazy? Like, unless you're like number 1 or number 2, like nobody cares in the draft anymore. That's how I feel.
It's true. Until they find Giannis Antetokounmpo down the line, and then
right, yeah. I mean, you get one of them, yeah,
right. Or Rudy Gobert 26th, I think he was, or 24th or whatever. Draymond Green was a second-round pick. No, but see, here's the thing. You're hitting the point. It's not that other draft picks aren't valuable. It's not that you need a number 1 pick or a number 2 pick or a number 3 pick in order to find a star that you can build your team around. But your ability to sell your fan base on the idea that we can get this guy that you're already seeing as a star in college, people embrace that and they're thinking, oh, it doesn't even matter whether Zion Williamson can play or not. The dream of drafting Zion Williamson. Philadelphia has done this for years. Oh, we're going to get Ben Simmons. Ooh, we're going to get Joel Embiid. Oh, we're going to get Dario Saric. Dario Saric now is on his second team. He's a nice player. Dario Saric for years was the gold ring being dangled in front of Philadelphia 76ers fans while their team was winning between 10 and 20 games.
Didn't he have to wait for a little bit?
Yes, he did. He did. And then he was going to come over and he was going to be a point forward. He was going to reinvent the game, just like Ben Simmons was going to reinvent the game. And I don't say any of this is a knock on these players. It's just, it's the dream that's being sold. And the NBA sells it better than anybody with draft picks and with the movement of picks, the value of future picks and deals, and then players this summer. Kemba Walker, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant.
Oh, it's going down this summer.
It's good. Yeah, it's going to be. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But every team has this vision of, maybe not every team, but fans envision these guys coming together. The Lakers becoming a super team, the New York Knicks becoming a super team, and it's a great benefit to the league that I happen to be talking about two of the biggest markets in the country, the teams in New York and LA, envisioning that they could have the next super team. And I say all that as a preface to the NFL, Eric Reid signing a 3-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. Not that big of a deal, but a big deal in context of everything that Eric Reid has gone through. Right. And Kareem Hunt signing with the Cleveland Browns. That is juicy. The Kareem Hunt that was released by the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is what amazes me, Will, is how quickly we go from people looking at Kareem Hunt as a pariah and applauding the Kansas City Chiefs for cutting him loose and moving on and having a standard, to people now looking at the Browns depth chart at running back and going, ooh, they got Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson, and Kareem Hunt. Man, they're going to be good. It's like...
That's crazy. By the way, I think Duke Johnson's going to get dealt this draft.
Okay. Well, my point just being that people go immediately from the principles that had Kareem Hunt on the street, because as you know, a lot of 4-3s on the street.
A lot of 4-3s on the street.
And they go from that to, the Cleveland Browns, the savvy Cleveland Browns. So I'll ask you, how do you feel about the Browns being that team that says, John Dorsey being that guy who says, hey, we think he deserves a second chance? You knew somebody would, right?
I didn't know it was going to be this soon.
Wait,
I don't even know the full details, but I think if I remember correctly, John Dorsey drafted Kareem Hunt to Kansas City.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
He definitely, if there's anybody that knows him through and through, it would be him, being he did all his homework and due diligence before all of this.
Or somebody who could say, hey, I brought you into this league. I can take you out.
No, right. He was saying he's remorseful. The only thing is the AFC North just got even more juicier, because not only is Kareem Hunt in that league, in that division, but also Mixon.
Yeah. Oh, Bengals fans have already forgotten that.
I know they yeah.
We had Gary Owen on, right? He way past that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's such a
look. It's how much you can get away with, how much you will be forgiven, is directly commensurate with how talented, how much you can do on the field.
right.
And that's not just with the NFL. That's with every sport. In fact, I almost feel as if the NFL holds a tighter line. That in some ways they put up with less. And I don't know whether it's more because guys are more easily replaced, or whether it's because keeping everybody on the same line, maintaining a certain degree of discipline and organizational control is more paramount in football, the way the game's played and the way the business is. That's why they hold a tighter line. I'm not sure what it is. You would know better than me.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm going to go back to Dorsey's relationship with Kareem Hunt. You know, obviously, once again, he is the one who drafted him. And I'm sure he did all his homework, even knows him through and through, his parents, or whatever it is, for him to be like, I'm going to bring him in here and give this guy another chance.
Yeah.
You know, once again, I'm sure they saw everything. They did all their homework for him to do that. Just like, the Redskins did all their homework for Reuben Foster.
Right.
You know, for them to go ahead and do this. So, but no, you're right, though. If had he not been, as good as he is, would teams even waste their time?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
I mean, look at Ray Rice and where he was. And I don't know if it would have made a difference just because that became so prevalent. But Ray Rice was also at a point in his career where could he still play? Yes. Was he worth the press and the attention that bringing him in was going to get you? I feel as if every team said no.
I don't think anybody. I mean, if I'm him, I'm looking at this like, yo,
lucky me.
No, like, what's up? Oh. If I'm Ray Rice and I'm looking at Mixon getting drafted, getting drafted, and Kareem Hunt getting another chance.
Yes. And
they're both documented.
But I guess this visually would be and Joe Mixon, you had videotape. So it was the videotape was just as ugly in his instance.
Yeah, videotape for both. Yes. Kareem Hunt and Mixon.
That's true. I will say, the Joe Mixon videotape, though, that to me was the worst of all three. Well, moving
on.
You raise a great point. I know. So, how surprised are you with the Eric Reid signing and the 3-year deal?
I'm not surprised at all. Eric Reid is a really good player. He's a really good safety. What happens? That was
never a doubt.
There was never a doubt. No, but that's what I mean. It's never a doubt that he was a really good player, and a lot of teams missed out on getting a good player, despite whatever his beliefs are or what he's doing or how he feels. Yeah, he's going to speak his mind. He's going to do what he does, but he's going to show up every Sunday and play ball.
So here's the thing. He hasn't been any less outspoken in my mind. It's not like he's backed down or...
He hasn't, but once again, it has not become a distraction because he did it how he was, and the Panthers handled it. They handled it really well in terms of not making a distraction, letting him be himself. And it's just like with the Eagles, the year they won the Super Bowl, they were really outspoken in everything they wanted to do in terms of charity, in terms of anything protest-wise, anything outside. I mean, they were so active outside of football that it was crazy, and they still were able to handle business.
I guess the crazy part for me is that I always thought it was the whole idea of it being a distraction was silly to begin with. I even feel with Cap, it's the idea that he would be a distraction. He was voted the Len Eschmont Award winner for the 49ers. In the midst of all of it, with all of the attention, his teammates did not see him as a distraction. I mean, and the 49ers struggling had nothing to do with that or the performance. I've always felt like
them struggling is performance. Yeah, I know what you're saying in terms of like it wasn't because of his activism,
right? And so that's where with Eric, I'm not surprised that he would get a 3-year deal. I'm surprised that no one would touch him, and then the Panthers take a flyer on him. He really doesn't change as far as speaking his mind. He's not any different. In fact, he probably spoke his mind more with the Panthers than he actually did with the 49ers. And we go from he can't get a job to now he's got a 3-year deal with the Panthers. And I applaud
Carolina
the Panthers.
probably said, do your thing, man.
Yeah. Well,
we're in San Fran. He probably felt like, man, I'm just here held hostage. I wanted to speak my mind, and I don't like anything that's going on right now.
Yeah. It's just I'm fascinated by that. By the way, I also wanted to touch before we leave the whole football realm, and we do have to talk about the Grammys beyond your friend Jay getting dissed by Cardi B. who now I have to change I like Cardi B. I like her music. I like her whole vibe. I don't know if you saw the clip where she was so excited afterwards. She said, maybe I have to start smoking weed. And
not funny.
What?
Yeah, not funny.
Well, in any event, before we get to the Grammys talk, I did want to, the whole Bob Costas thing that we talked about in the last podcast, his basically blaming his comments on concussions with the end of his 40-year career with NBC and being taken off of the Super Bowl pregame coverage. And what I was not fully aware of when we talked about it yesterday was that he said he made those remarks at a public appearance. It wasn't on air with NBC. There was a video of him making an appearance, and that video then went viral. And he was clearly he didn't mince any words about that it's destroying brains and it's not destroying just a few. It's like everybody's being affected, et cetera, et cetera. He went whole hog. Getting booted for that, while I understand it, this is something that I've experienced firsthand with ESPN. Like when I was there, I ended up wearing a lot of different hats. I was a sideline reporter, a writer, and I was a reporter on SportsCenter and Outside the Lines, and then I was also an analyst, and they would ask my opinion. And it becomes really difficult because if you're a reporter, and I have to give Adrian Wojnarowski, who's now covering the NBA for ESPN, have to give him a lot of credit. I've watched how he's approached this. They do this with basically everybody. They have you do everything. Woj has only come on and been a reporter. He's never taken an analyst's role. As far as I can tell, his opinions are only shaped as far as this is what I'm being told by these teams or whatever. He's not prognosticating in any way. And I think that's really smart because that's where people have gotten into trouble, is that they're asked for their opinion. I ran into this with Kobe when he wanted to leave the Lakers and go to Chicago. And I literally talked to Kobe during that time. And he said to me, I'm not playing for those MFers again. Now, I wasn't at liberty to report that at the time, but I was asked my opinion after reporting on what I knew. I was on SportsCenter and I was asked, so what do you think's going to happen? And I said, I don't think he's going to show up. I don't think he's going to play for the Lakers again.
There you go again, Rick.
What do you mean?
You have a history of dropping bombs in the media. My gosh.
What else are you referencing?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So far, dude, you already got the three biggest guys in the media. You just gave me your Kobe story. You got LeBron in there, and you got KD in there already.
Oh yeah.
But go ahead, keep going.
Well, yeah, I guess. So he shows up the next day, and I've got egg on my face, and I was like, well, I wasn't reporting that. I was asked my opinion. That's what I'm telling you I think is going to happen. But nobody's going to make that, distinction between the two. And so I just had to wear it. And I couldn't go out there. I mean, I feel like the statute of limitations has passed. I can say why I had that opinion and why I felt very strongly about that opinion. But I couldn't go out and say it at the time, what had shaped my opinion, as if that would really matter anyway. But anyway, so that's where this whole thing with Costas, does that change anything with you?
Like my opinion of him?
your opinion of the situation. The fact that it's one thing if he had done it on NBC or if he'd done it on while doing an NFL broadcast. And he said, "Look, I agreed with them that I shouldn't do the Super Bowl because I felt that way." But he wasn't. I don't think he was expecting that it was going to end his career.
No, because you know what though? It's like at the end of it, once you enter that world, you're always on the clock.
Yeah,
that's always on.
It's great advice. It's true.
You know,
it's true.
You're always on, especially if someone wants your opinion because they think your opinion is of value.
Yeah.
So,
but I also feel as if this is what today social media and everybody having a smartphone, knowing. In fact, I have a media training company. I mean, this is what we talk. It's called Everything Is on the Record.
Right.
Because
everything is.
Everything that you do, you have to expect that it is going to be dispersed on a nationwide, global-wide basis.
Because I'm telling you, man, like I always look for little things. Like, dude, you got your light on the microphone.
Yeah.
Like I'm not stupid.
Right.
Well, like when I'm playing, like they'll hide it here and there. They'll put this there. They'll walk up. I'm like, dude, can you turn it off? And I'll get whatever you need. Like we'll talk.
Right.
But turn it off.
Right.
Or if I was talking to one of my, a reporter on the phone, I can hear like the keyboard going on, like clicking.
Right.
And it's just a casual conversation. And I hear it clicking. I'm like, dude. Come on, man. You can't be typing.
That's jacked up. Because I mean, for me, I will always say, can I use this? And the guy will say, don't attribute to me, which means I can use the information. I can't quote him or her.
Yeah, I'll either, if you can't, my thing is like, you can't, if I don't want you to quote me, then this isn't meant to be said at all.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. This is us talking.
Yeah.
Because I hate that. Like, oh, don't quote me
sources.
on it, but sources.
You hate
anonymous.
Sources.
I hate sources.
Yeah.
Gosh.
See, but here's the flip side. So the piece that I did a while back on playing with the yin and yang of playing with LeBron, I had half a dozen guys that I quoted, including KD. And KD got killed for being quoted in my story. And the quote, in my opinion, was taken out of context. Everybody jumped on the toxic word.
Because everyone already feels like he's bitter.
Well, but that's not, who cares? To me, that's still not fair. But the bottom line is,
it's not fair. I'm saying that's what the consensus thinks. So if he's saying anything towards or anything about LeBron, as opposed to like, I would love to play with him. If he doesn't say anything about that, then they're going to be like, okay, because he's bitter.
Yeah.
Like anything he says about LeBron.
Yeah. True. I just feel as if when that happens, we, the media, are killing ourselves. Because when we do that, then guys are less likely. The next guy is less likely to put his name on whatever he's saying, because it's not.
Yeah,
it's
guys
not
are
worth
cool.
it.
Like I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I remember when I was in Green Bay and we had longtime reporter Bob McGinn. And he would come in the locker room and everybody's like, "Oh, watch out for Bob! Watch out for Bob!" I'm like, "Why?" They were like, "Cause that dude will flip any story. Watch out for Bob." And I'm like, "I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna go right at Bob." Not attack him like angry wise or being malicious, but I'll give him what he wants. Like, let's talk.
Yeah.
Throw it, whatever you got. I'll give you all the stories.
And
he and I had the greatest relationship when I was there my 4 years in Green Bay.
This is what I tell guys.
He was slick too.
He was slick?
He found out that my grandparents donated to Obama and that I was at a rally. Like, he digs. I don't know how he found that out.
That's good. That's good.
He was good.
Well, and that, honestly, as a reporter, that's how you make your mark. That's how you separate yourself from the fray. Is that, and I always looked, in order to make a connection with a guy, was to do my homework and to be able to reference someone or something that would pique his interest or her interest, because it tells them I'm doing my homework, I know how to report, and so we're going to be on a little more of equal footing here. You're not just talking with any reporter, you're talking somebody who has the ability to learn all about you. So let's be straight up with each other. Right.
And I learned that this is my chance for me to be heard.
Absolutely. Because see, here's the thing. You approached it the right way, because I tell guys I'm actually prepping to work with a team next week after the All-Star game, non-NBA team. And one of the things that I will tell them is the media is a beast. It is going to eat. Now, you can either choose what you feed it, or you can cut it off and say, no, I'm not giving you anything. And then the beast is going to eat an arm or a leg, or you no longer get to decide what it's going to eat. But it's going to eat. It's going to be fed.
But you can.
Yes, you can't.
You just gotta give it the right nutrition so it behaves properly.
No, absolutely. No, if you give it something good to eat, the beast will be your friend. It will. It's like
that's what I did. I always changed the diet. Like they were eating garbage, they love trash and this and that. I was like, dude, here's a turkey club, man. Here's some avocado toast.
No, dude, if you're talking about the media that I know, maybe not present day media, the media.
Dude, I played for the Giants and the Redskins.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
They eat some bad food. Turkey Club Turkey Club is too healthy for them unless you're just slathering it with mayo and double the bacon.
I'm saying I changed their diet. Yeah. You know who does really well at interviews as a coach right now? It's Sean McVay.
Sean McVay does a great job. You know who else does a great job?
He kills it.
Mike Tomlin does a great job. When Mike Tomlin goes to the podium after a game, man, you know who's in charge.
They both answer everything.
Yeah.
They answer it thoroughly. Almost, they answer the question so well that there is no follow-up question.
That is correct. Well, no, this is what they do. And I know Tomlin does this. And this is also the great trick. You don't wait for the questions. You know what the hot button questions are going to be after a game.
Yeah, so you go right at it.
So you go, that your opening statement, you address it. Yeah. And then they can't come back because otherwise you get the question. You never know how the question's going to be framed. You don't know where it's going to take you, the follow-up, whatever. But you can make your statement and then you go, okay, what else you got? And that's I've already handled that. We're not talking about that anymore. What else do you have? Basically, you take the bat out of the media's hand in doing it.
You take the B rabbit approach. You seen 8 Mile?
Yes.
So the last battle scene where he made fun of himself the whole time. He was like,
"Yes,
now tell me something. Tell the people something they don't know about me."
Yes, that's good. That's good stuff.
The B rabbit approach. That's it. I gave them, or even I would change the whole conversation. Like, hey, what happened in this play? This is what happened in this play, and I'll give you a little background. Here's this and that, and then we end up talking about something else.
Dude,
own the conversation.
You could work for my media training company.
I'm not going to San Francisco.
You don't have to go to San Francisco. You know what? Honestly, you should be working with NFL teams. You should be teaching them your approach because the media just wants a story. If you give them a good story, whatever they started out with, whatever their angle was, they're just trying to please their editor. And you know that. You knew that. You experienced that. You demonstrated it firsthand. You're like,
right.
Whatever you might be talking about, hey, I'm going to give you something good, but it's going to be what I want to talk about. Right. It's going to be what I think is worth putting out there.
Right, because then if you do that well, then they're going to be excited to write the story because you gave them some good information.
Yes.
Something that they already had a few things that they have their initial question.
Yep.
And if they don't get enough, then they have their follow-up questions that are probably going to piss you off. Because you're pissing them off because you're not giving them what they want.
No, it's exactly right. Pat Riley, when he was still coaching, I went down to do a story on, I think Alonzo Mourning was just coming back, and Tim Hardaway Sr., who I had known, was down there finishing up his career. And there was like 3 of us down there that were working on stories. And Pat couldn't talk to us right after practice, so he said, I will call each one of you individually. And I knew what the other 2 guys were working on. We were all working on different stories. Pat, indeed, called each one of us separately. And when I looked at the 3 stories, or at least the 2 other stories, Pat's quotes were the same to all of us. Now, we were asking completely different questions. Didn't matter to Pat. Pat had a message that he wanted to put out there. There was something that he wanted to talk about.
Right.
And so that's how he handled it. And that's where he went. And Pat is one of the supreme storytellers of all time. So his info, his material was going to be good. But that's how you control the narrative.
You know what I did too? A trick for me? Say if everyone surrounded Josh Norman and Josh just did not feel like it that day.
Yeah.
He did not feel like it. And he's one-word answers. That. Oh, yeah, and I knew it, and you can see it. And so he would go in there, and I would actually jump in there and pretend to be his PR guy. and I would call on reporters. or if a reporter asked a silly question, I'd be like, dude, like she just asked that. Why would you do that? Like I would totally embarrass all of them in a fun, light way, and then kind of lighten up the mood, and then he'll have fun too and jump in. So
yeah,
I was that guy.
Well done. All right, before we say goodbye, I do want to talk about the Grammys, and the first thing that I want to talk about is Antonio Brown being at the Grammys with a blonde mustache.
Next question.
No. This is as bad a decision as doing the Facebook Live from the locker room. And I'm not joking. Like, there's decisions that guys make, and you go, man, that is a bad, like, how did you think that was a good idea?
It started, I'm going to blame Cam Newton for this one. And the reason why I'm going to blame Cam, because Cam actually dyed the tip of his goatee blonde.
Okay. I
seen him do that first. And then I think Childish Gambino right now he has a blonde beard too.
Okay.
And then Antonio Brown's the third person I seen with the blonde beard.
Okay, I can vaguely remember Cam doing that. But that is a terrible look. Like there's no way that Antonio Brown looks in the mirror and goes, "Oh yeah."
He did say, "Oh yeah." He did say, "Oh yeah." Are you kidding me? Rich man problems, dude.
See, I'm telling you that makes me question his decision making.
Not when he's on the field.
You know, sometimes that line is blurred.
This is America. See, when I played, I remember when I got drafted, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think the base was like 400 or something like that, 400 grand. And so I always said I'm being $1,000 cautious.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, you guys, $1 million crazy.
That's a good line. That is a good line.
I was always being $1,000 cautious. And I learned this. So my first road trip, I think we were playing the Lions in Detroit. I remember I went to the mall. It was me, Charles Woodson, Al Harris, Nick Barnett, like all the top dogs. I hung out with them. And we went into this one store and we just cleared racks. I mean, not even looking at tags, cleared racks, buying everything. I'm like, I see Nick Collins grab this jacket. I was like, I'm going to get that jacket. They got this. I'm going to get this. He got that. I got this. And I was like, damn, I got a lot of clothes right here. You know, everyone's like competing, going to crazy shopping and grabbing everything and having a blast. And then I'm like, I got a lot of stuff. So I finally get to the register and I see my tab, my bill. I'm like, yo, reality hit me. I'm like, all these dudes are making like 5+. Yeah. $5 million plus a year. I need to chill out. I just got my rookie deal.
So what'd you do?
I bought it.
Oh, you did? All right. Well, at least it was clothes. I mean, you could only do so much damage there. I mean, the same thing happens when guys go car shopping, right? Or house shopping. It's I got to run with the boys.
No, I always
I'm
wanted.
not saying for you, but I'm saying a lot of NFL players get kind of dragged into that.
I was a big car guy.
You were a car guy?
No, I said here and there. I was not a car guy.
Oh, okay.
Actually, because I played offense in college, I got a lot of appearances. That's the beauty about playing offense because you have the football.
Yeah. Like
people want to see you. Defenders, you don't get a damn thing.
Right.
So being I had a lot of appearances before I even got drafted, I used that appearance money and I bought my first car.
Appearance money while you were still in college?
No, like when I was getting ready for the draft.
Oh, okay. Was that a significant sum? Once you were out of college and you could accept appearance money? Like
I already signed with an agent and all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, how much money between, like, before you actually signed a deal with the NFL were you able to pull on appearses? It sounded like that was a pretty good nest egg.
Yeah, enough to buy a Range Rover.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is America.
By the way, yeah, no kidding. By the way, did BC sign? Was that really they signed the Mountain from Game of Thrones?
No.
I was gonna say that guy's old.
That guy is super old.
Yeah. So you were just making a reference.
I made a reference because the kid is 6'8", 285.
Yeah. Coming out of high school. Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Right.
Can he move?
I mean, he's a 4-star kid apparently. Yeah, because the guy's 30 who's playing the Mountain.
I took your Twitter literally.
That guy's 6'9", 400 pounds though. Oh wait.
Oof.
And looks great.
Yeah, that's a good 400. He didn't look like that's a good 400 pounds.
Yeah.
You can be 6'9" and have a bad 400.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people who are I'm 216 right now. I've seen a lot of bad 216s.
Yeah. 5'10", 216.
Yeah. What are you about? 160?
No. Somewhere between 180 and 185.
185?
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta be 160.
You know what? Stop it.
How tall are you?
6'2", 6'3"?
I forgot you were pretty tall. All right, yeah, you're about 180s. I get that.
I don't get the sense that you're saying that in a complimentary way.
So you were like Ronaldo on the pitch, huh?
Yes.
Bigger than most, right?
I had like 3% body fat when I played. I probably was too skinny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just because you had low percent body fat didn't mean you were ripped up. You were probably
I was ripped up too.
No, you were like a
I wasn't
cross country guy.
I was ripped. But I was skinny ripped.
Huh.
I was wiry ripped, not bulk ripped.
So corners, you were all over.
How do we
corners?
You were my physique.
Because we were saying how 400 can look good or bad. Right. So corner kicks, you were just boxing everybody out.
Well, at 6'2", 6'3", I was one of the taller guys on the team.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, and I also had a gift. I had a gift for finding the ball in the air. As a freshman in high school, we played on my very first. I made varsity as a freshman. My very first game, I went in.
Let's let everybody know he made varsity as a freshman.
I made varsity as a freshman.
Put that in there.
Letting you know. Played the last 15 minutes of the game against the state champions and scored on a corner kick with a header.
See, so I know these things.
That was always kind of my. It was one of.
I know these things, man.
Clearly, you have a sixth sense when it comes to these.
You see, but did I not call it? I said you were probably really good in the corners.
Yes. Yeah,
boxing everybody out and getting the header in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine what Zlatan was like. What is he like? 6'5"? Ibrahimovic?
I want to say 6'4", but he's a big dude. He is a big dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, then you got Eric Crouch, who's like 6'7", 6'8". And
that's so weird.
It is weird. It's unusual to have guys that
coordinated,
and just change of direction. I mean, you're playing in small spaces. You have to have.
I wish I played soccer.
Yeah, I know. You keep saying that. Why is that?
Because I grew into love it in college. It was too late.
I was just talking to somebody from the MLS today about like how soccer really was. Soccer wasn't nearly as cool when I was growing up as it is now.
It was forbidden when I was growing up.
Yeah. What do you mean forbidden?
Don't you dare play soccer.
Yeah.
In the hood, dude. We play basketball and football. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's changed. It's totally changed.
I mean, like in my hood, I mean, soccer is actually, the best players came from, lower class areas.
Right.
Yeah. The best players in the world come from like the lower class areas.
Yep.
But in my area, we didn't play soccer. We played just football and basketball because the other sports, they're expensive.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the way it's gone with everything today now.
Well, it's happened with soccer too. Like all these guys playing club, like you can't afford a club.
Travel teams, all the equipment. Dude. Yeah. Trust me, brother.
Give me that soccer ball. We'll go there and kick in front of There's a kid down the street from me. He just kicks in front of his yard all day long. And like he'll go out there and play with his kids and just school them up.
I stole orange safety cones when I was a kid, and I would line them up in my driveway, and I would dribble those like nonstop.
Who was your guy? Who'd you like watching?
I mean, Beckenbauer was big when I was a kid. Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah.
And he was tall. So he was kind of who I modeled, and he's German. I'm first generation American. My parents are German, so that was kind of the guy. And they called me Beck and Bucher in college. Kind of where that came from.
You're just the king of the humble brag. Anyhow.
Do you know who I am?
I had a very undistinguished college career, and we were not. Dartmouth is a perennial NCAA tournament team now.
When you got there, they were trash.
Pretty much. Actually, when I got there, they were just coming off an NCAA appearance, and
so you ruined it.
And one of our seniors was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but we were not good the subsequent 4 years, and I was part of all of them. So, all right, I cannot. John Libby, our producer, whatever you want to edit out, talking about my athletic career in this, we spent
Don't even think about it.
Way too much time on my physique.
I'm kind of a big deal.
On my athletic career.
People know me.
That's not what this podcast is supposed to be about, but I'm going to blame Blackman because he's the one who dragged me into it.
I'm very happy for you.
Kept throwing out these questions and darts. You willing to wear that?
No, I'm just trying to read up on your soccer career.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, before you get any more material, we're going to say goodbye, and this is it for this episode of Bucher and Blackman, subsidiary of Bucher and Friends, part of the WeCast network. One of the things that we did not get to that I promised our listeners that we would, which is the whole Kevin Durant saga with the Golden State Warriors, and particularly in the game the other night with the Miami Heat, the double dribble that was not called that ended up with him, I believe finding Boogie Cousins, who got fouled, hit the 2 free throws that ended up tying it up, sort of changed the dynamic of the game. In any event, that is something else that very quickly we got to touch upon. We get to hear the referees in the AAF, right? They're discussing.
Yeah.
We get to hear that. I think that's great. I think it takes away the conspiracy theories in a big way. You still may disagree. You still may not respect the referees to the level that you should. But I think hearing the way they discuss decisions takes away a lot of the... It's the same as dealing with the media. If you don't talk to them, somebody's going to fill the vacuum, and it's probably going to be negative. It's the same with the referees. When we don't know how they came to their conclusion, then people come up with conspiracy theories. So I think it's another plus for the AAF, and the NBA has started a similar thing online, which a lot of people thought, oh, this is going to be crazy. But it's actually worked out, and it worked out, I think, in a positive way when it came to KD's play the other night. We'll discuss that, all that, and more on the next podcast. Don't forget, BucherandFriends.com, and we have a link to a survey there. We really want to know who it is that's listening to us. It only takes a couple minutes to fill out the survey. So go to BucherandFriends.com, click on the link to the survey, fill it out, let us know who you are and what your listening habits are, and you'll be eligible to win a $50 gift card to Amazon. All right, that's it from me. That's it for Will. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.